Hello, sixth period. Today, I don't get to see you all in class because it's election day, and I hope you are enjoying your day off, unless you're watching this on a different day that we do have school, in which case, I hope you're enjoying your day at all. I hope you all had a really good Halloween. I know I did. I got to eat Reese Cups and watch a zombie movie, so that was really cool. So today, I wanted to do a short video just because I don't get to see you all talking about what we're doing this week. So I'm gonna pull up my PowerPoint, and I know you all are gonna make fun of it because it's kind of childish, but I think it's super cute, okay? Look at him, it's a little dog. He's adorable. It's loading. Look at him. My favorite's the goldfish on this slide. Look at the goldfish. Okay, so here's our plan for this week. We are gonna work on summarizing, and we're gonna be using the key details, which you've been doing in your annotations, plus some of the citation information. So when we talked about citations, remember we did it all together. Some of us liked it because it's kind of like mathy, and some of us did not like it because it takes a long time, but we're gonna work on that. Then when I see you all on Thursday, we're gonna do some formatting because our big project for this semester is an annotated bibliography, which we're gonna start talking about what that looks like and how we're gonna put it together on Thursday. So here's your to-do list for this week. First, do your check-in and independent reading sheet. I already have some of these turned in, which is great. If you haven't gotten there yet, turn it in. It's not too hard. You're going to do an exit slip after you watch this video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you all what I want you to do. It's not super hard. Make sure you turn it in before I see you all on Thursday. And then when I do see you all on Thursday, we're going to continue working with summaries. I think we might do breakout rooms where we kind of share our ideas for the summary. We're going to get together as a class and talk about it. So that'll be an assignment. And then if you have any missing work, please turn it in. I know that some people still haven't turned in their narratives. Those need to be turned in. I graded the ones that I do have. Some people are missing their article of the week, the history article from last week. That's going to be super important that you do because we're going to talk about it again this week. So make sure you are doing that work. Okay, so the ideas of the summary paragraph is to give your reader an overview of all the key ideas that are in the article. This is where those annotations we did last week can really benefit you. So if you highlighted things and said, this is the key idea of the article, this is important information, that's stuff that you're gonna need to put in your summary paragraph. And think about what does it say about the topic? So the topic of the article we're talking about is history. So what does it say about history? Why is it important? And he lists a lot of different reasons it's important. So those are things that you'd want to put in your paragraph. The first sentence of your summary is kind of tricky, so I'm going to walk through it with you all together because it has to have a lot of this information. You need to have the author and the title of the publication it comes from and the date and the main idea. The good thing is the first 4 of those we found together, remember? Where I said, like, who's the author? Put the author in the chat. We did that. So here is my kind of take on what that information was, and I had written it down in my notebook while we were doing it as a class. So we have the author, the title of the publication in this case is the website it came from. So remember it had the eyes looked really weird at the top of the page. That's usually where you find it. It's usually like the title of the website. So that was the American Historical Association. And then I came up with the main idea. The main idea for your first sentence does not have to be long because you're writing a whole paragraph summary. So you don't want to put like the whole summary in one sentence because you need to have like 4 or 5 sentences, right? So my main idea was like, history is important to study. And then in my next paragraph, I'm going to talk more about, in the rest of my paragraph, I'm going to talk more about why history is important to study. So here's what all of that looks like together. So I took all of these elements, I put them in the sentence. This is the first sentence of our summary. It says, in his 1998 American Historical Association article, Why Study History, Peter Stearns provides many reasons to justify the importance of learning about history. So when you write your summary paragraph, and I'm going to ask you to write your summary paragraph for this article at the end of the video, this is your first sentence. You don't have to write the first sentence over again. I gave it to you. Wasn't that fun? So after you have that sentence, you have to look back and add the key details. You should have already annotated these. So like look at what you annotated and you marked as key details and important information. think about what we talked about in our small groups when we wrote that response last week, because some of that might have been summary, right? When we were pulling in text evidence and practicing that. So just take some of his main arguments. So why do we need to study history? He gives us 3 or 4 reasons that you need to study history. He says, I don't know, makes you a good citizen, and he says that it improves your morals. He says a lot of things. So pull some of his ideas and write those in the rest of your paragraph. You can cite specific examples that will support your ideas. So we talked about this in our breakout rooms. I remember when I had the highlighted page, the highlighted paragraph from somebody else, and I highlighted it, and I think it was like blue. I said they're using direct evidence to support their ideas. That's what you do here. I have an example on the screen. It says, history shows us, those are my words, the real complexities individuals have faced in difficult settings. The part that I didn't write, the part I pulled directly from the text, is this real complexities individuals have faced in difficult settings. It's in quotation marks. So if you're pulling a direct quote and you want to use it in your summary, which is a good idea, make sure you put it in quotation marks, and then in parentheses next to it, tell me what page you got that from. So that's basically all you're doing for your summary paragraph. You are writing that first sentence that I already had with all that information in it. And we'll practice writing that for a different sentence with a different article later. For now, just use the sentence I have. And then go back and add all those key details, make it one coherent paragraph, and then you're good to go. You have your summary. Here are a couple of things you don't want to do as you're writing them. Think about the length of it. It needs to be one paragraph, which means you cannot rewrite every single thing he says. You're not going to be able to provide a whole lot of examples, maybe 1 or 2. You can't talk about everything that he writes because it's like a 4-page article. But also, you don't want to leave out the main points. So don't write your entire summary paragraph without telling me why it's important to study history, because that's the main point. Make sure you're adding some specific examples and quotes from the text. Make sure you use page numbers. Also, I know we talked a lot last class about our opinions on the article, right? We talked about how it could help you if you wanted to work in a museum, or if you wanted to be a judge, or if you wanted just to learn about history and the mistakes of the past. But this summary paragraph is not where you tell me whether you agree or disagree with him. Present the facts of the article as neutrally as you can. Just tell me what he says, not what you think. You will talk about what you think later. We've already started that, and we're going to do it later. But right now, don't tell me what you think. Just tell me what he says. Okay. So in your exit slip, you're going to type in Google Classroom and submit this before next class, before I see you all on Thursday. What you're going to do, write a summary paragraph of that article that I've been talking about this whole time. I already gave you the first sentence, so go back in the video, find my first sentence, type it, write it down, whatever you got to do. And then just add the rest. And we talked about that being those key details. Add those key details, make it a good summary paragraph. I know you know how to summarize, and hit submit. And we're going to come back together on Thursday at 12:30, and I will see you all then. Bye, everybody.